for you today, for you to think about, is that accountability is kryptonite to women. Do you think it is true or false? Well, I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this with two amazing people who are going to battle with each other, and I'll just be here to tease their minds on them. And so on my left, I have with me
Priscilla.
Priscilla, and then our gentleman,
Michael.
Michael. All right, you're welcome to your take.
Thank you.
So before we go into this topic, let's quickly watch a short video and then come back to the discussion.
Have you ever pondered over the intriguing question, why do women often choose the bad boys over the nice guys? It's a conundrum that has puzzled many for ages. Today we're going to delve into this mystery using the narrative of a woman named Paulina to illustrate this intriguing phenomenon. Paulina is a radiant, captivating woman who has never found herself short of male attention. Over the years, she has had a plethora of suitors, men of good character who were genuinely interested in her. However, Paulina consistently overlooked these gentlemen, favoring the more flashy, bad boy types. Observing Paulina's life, one might notice a pattern. Despite being blessed with the affections of many good men, Paulina has never tied the knot. Instead, she finds herself in a toxic relationship with her latest boyfriend, Matthew, a man who fits the quintessential bad boy mold. Matthew, despite his shortcomings, has stepped up to provide for Paulina's two children from previous relationships, even going as far as to purchase a car for her. Yet, as their arguments escalate over issues such as who should pay for Paulina's health drugs, it becomes clear that their relationship is on shaky ground. Matthew feels overwhelmed by the bills he's been paying on Paulina's behalf, and Paulina feels that he's not doing enough. All the while, Paulina laments the apparent absence of good men, seemingly oblivious to her role in choosing her partners. This brings us to the crux of our discussion today. Is it fair for Paulina to complain about the lack of good men when she consistently chooses the bad boys? Shouldn't she be held accountable for her decision-making? This is a question that transcends generations, as we see similar patterns even among the younger women and girls in our society. So, we find ourselves back at our initial question. Why do women often choose the bad boys over the nice guys? Is it a failure of intuition, as some might suggest? Or could it be that women like Paulina knowingly choose these men for the thrill, only to shift the blame onto men when things go awry? It's a thought-provoking question indeed. It challenges the notion that women, as the masters of intuition, are exempt from accountability in their romantic decisions. This paints a picture that accountability might indeed be kryptonite to women. But is this a fair assessment, or is there more to this complex puzzle? So as we navigate through this labyrinth of love and relationships, it's important to remember that every choice has consequences, and accountability is a two-way street. It's not about men versus women, it's about understanding our choices and owning up to them, regardless of our gender. As we conclude, we circle back to the question that started it all. Why do women often choose the bad boys over the nice guys? And most importantly, shouldn't they too be held accountable for their choices? It's a question that lingers, prompting introspection and conversation. It's a question that, hopefully, will lead us closer to understanding the complexities of human relationships and the choices we make.
Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your take on this?
Well, I would want to say, for me, I feel majority of women are not accountable or hate to be held accountable for their actions. Because, once the society is structured in a way that men are usually held accountable from birth, once you are born a man, it's like you have responsibility to your family, to your society and everything. So naturally, women are usually not usually accountable for their actions in a way.
Naturally.
And I'm not saying that that's how it should be, okay. But based on society, that's how some women feel that once you're in a relationship with a man, it's actually the man's responsibility to make the relationship work. But the idea is that we know a relationship is a two-way affair, involves two people. So always bringing the accountability or leaving the accountability to men, I think is a problem. Because one thing that pricks my thoughts a lot is, when a lady is in a relationship and then the guy is not really financially stable, the lady sees the guy as someone who is broke.
But if you are
But-
broke, you are broke now.
Yes, if you are broke, you are broke. But this is a guy who pays his bills. A man who pays bills is not broke.
But I think guys are triggered when women earn more than them. So it's natural for a lady to complain that a guy is broke.
But then it means, that's what I'm saying. In the first place, you are not accountable to yourself as a woman. You know, you are always depending on a man to provide for you. So it
How?
means, yeah,
If I
because,
earn more than you,
yeah.
then you complain, you feel insecure.
No,
But
no, no,
if
no.
you earn more than me, you're saying I'm not accountable.
No, that's
How
not what
is
I'm
that?
saying. That's not what I'm saying. You see, if you earn more than a man, it's your behavior that will determine whether the man will be okay with it or not.
A lot of men are insecure. Even if you've not done anything to them, they simply feel insecure because what if one day her mind changes?
I'm so happy you are using the word insecure, because now that's just an escape for women.
Oh, keep going.
Anything that happens, any small issue, any small problem, if you demand accountability, you'll be called an insecure man at an instance. So for instance, when you ask a woman to improve her communication skills, or because communication breeds trust.
Yeah.
So if you can't communicate properly, it means in the first place you are not accountable. You are not responsible for your actions. If you enter a relationship, it's a two-way affair. You are committed to someone.
Okay.
It means that you want to build a healthy lifestyle with this person. So it means you have to be accountable to the person. So if, for instance, you are doing something I don't like in my relationship and I complain and then you call me insecure, then it means I'm not even in a safe space in the
It
first
depends
place.
on how you complain, don't you think?
Exactly.
But how do men complain? Men are simple creatures compared
No,
to
but
women.
Simple.
You
Really?
put it
Very
in a
simple.
I think
way.
so.
Yeah.
Maybe I do something and you be like, okay, so I expected you to do better, or I'm comparing you to somebody else and all of that. It makes me feel like you're insecure naturally,
No.
because of course you're comparing me to somebody else.
So are you saying, well, so far he has said a lot, but
Yeah.
from what you were saying, you're saying once your partner decides to prompt you on some few things, it means he's insecure.
No, it depends
That's
on
what I
how
say.
you prompt. So if I do something, you address it per me. You don't compare me to others.
You mean generalization?
Yes.
And that was when you were talking. Though our topic, made it very general,
Yeah.
but then I think it's not. You can't just based on probably one or two or three women or encounters that you've
Exactly.
had
Yeah,
to say that all women or women
No.
are like this or women
I'm
are
aware
like
of
that.
I'm aware of that. You post say men are cheats. That's based on inductions, right? You date about 2 men, 3 men, they cheat on you, and you say all men are cheats. So why are you stopping me for saying majority of women using the same kind of reasoning? That's
But
what
a
I'm
lot
using.
of men feel that
Yeah.
they can cheat naturally because they are men.
Yeah.
And
It's
A lot
It's
of
in that
men have that
DNA.
perception.
okay,
They can't stick to one woman.
you see, that's why I said that. If you're in a relationship, right? If you want a healthy relationship, if you make reference to the video we watched, this is a young lady who was getting attention for when she was young, right? And then looking at the video, I think he has 2 children, right? So it means she has already been in a relationship, and then she had children, and then the man left. Now you are presented with good men as
How do you know
opposed to
they are
what?
good? What is good?
No, I'm just
Is
basing
there
it
because
on
of their appearance?
based on the video, right? It says that
But you don't really know the full story because they are appearing nice and all of that. But some
no,
are
no.
not.
What
that
my
good.
premise
Well,
is
I
from
think
the video,
he's
right?
making
So the video
inferences from
says that
video, so.
she was she came across a lot of good men, right? But then she went in for the bad boy, the bad guy.
So
So
good
my
men in
question:
quotes.
who are the good men? Like,
Exactly.
are you a good man? Are you a good guy?
Well, I think
Would you say you are?
I don't know. You see,
How can you
from
not
the
know?
video,
Are you a
let me
good
explain.
lady?
Let me
Yeah,
explain.
because
If you are, you know.
No, let me explain. You see,
Okay, with diagrams.
yes, if you want diagrams, I can provide diagrams if you want,
Okay.
right? You see, what's the meaning of good? What defines a good person in the first place, right? You can say, okay, if you are defining a good person, we can define maybe based on functions. For instance, if I'm a teacher and then I teach well, I'm a good teacher.
Okay.
If I'm a driver and I drive well, but then if you come to generalize a man, who is a good man? Because my attitude towards somebody will depend on the kind of relationship I have with the person. So to somebody, I might be a good person. to another person, I might be what? A bad person. That's why when you ask me whether I'm a good person,
So
I
you
won't.
don't know.
Oh, in my mind, I'm a good person.
In your mind?
Yes, in my
But
mind.
based on the relationship you have with whoever the person is.
So the person
that
will
will
have to
determine
judge.
if you are good or bad.
So the person will have to judge. I can't
So
judge
it's not
myself.
left to you to say
It's
that
not
you're
left
good
to
or
me
But
to
I
bad.
say
think
whether.
from the video,
Yeah.
a good man is a well-dressed man, a gentleman. He does everything by the books and
Yeah.
all of that, because
Yeah.
the guy she chose was literally taking care of the 2 children. I
Yeah.
don't think that is a bad man.
No,
but
you
he
see,
is a bad boy. Maybe he doesn't follow the books and all of that.
you see,
That doesn't make him bad.
no, when we describe a bad boy, right?
Okay.
What we are talking about is someone who is, that kind of rowdy person, or that kind of person who doesn't stick to, maybe if he's in a relationship, maybe he cheats, he goes to parties, he smokes, he does a lot of things. Like,
you mean what society terms as a bad?
As bad.
yes, because society determines what's good and what's bad. Right?
Okay.
That society determines who a good person is and who a bad person is. It depends on society.
And is that healthy? Because I think it is this whole idea about societal norms that has brought us to this topic in the first place about
Yeah.
accountability.
Yeah.
So left to me alone. Well, I'm supposed to just do, but left to me alone. If women are being blamed for not being accountable, I think it starts from this whole idea of societal norms.
Yes.
And all that.
But then accountability is basically taking responsibility for your actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, before someone can be responsible for his or her actions, the person has to have freedom, right? If you have freedom to choose, then you are responsible whether we are going to blame you or reward you,
Yeah.
right? Now, you can't say that women are not slaves,
Definitely
right?
not.
They are not slaves. You are intelligent people, so you
Yeah,
know the
very.
difference between good and,
And
bad.
smart.
Smart people, yes. I'll give you all the accolades. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You know the difference between good and bad.
Okay.
So when you go in for a particular choice, you are responsible for the effects of that choice. You can't say because society is structured this way, that's what has. So for instance, that's what I said, that I get the idea that women are usually relegated to the background. But in our modern society, the modern woman is no more relegated to the background. Right? So now men are actually accepting women that are more outspoken
Yeah.
Exactly.
and more career driven, right? So if all this are now,
You mean some men?
well, some men,
Thank
okay,
you.
Actually.
well, some can
Because
even,
not all.
well, some can
Some
mean
feel
90%. So,
insecure.
well, some can still
Okay,
mean
then a few.
90%. No, you've already said some, right? So I feel that if you have responsibility to choose, right, you should accept blame. You see, what we are talking about is accepting blame.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Because if you already have the idea that society is deciding for you, it means that you are not going to find yourself accountable for any of your actions. And that usually happens, as I said, guys are simple. Men are simple creatures.
Not that simple.
Very
You
simple.
see yourself as simple, but you're not that simple.
No, it's because your mind is complex. Women are complex, so they don't understand simple things.
See, today Mickey
That's the
came,
problem.
Mickey came prepared.
He really
Like
did.
That's the problem. You see,
But I think generally women are accountable.